Hello, everybody. I'm Abdullah Watad, and I'm from Israel. And today I thought about partaking in the European Scientist Aid for Al Qasimi College because I really love sharing my experience with other people and contributing to my society, even if it was like a little bit. But uh, let's go. So the topic for today is implements for developing bilingual and personal
يعطيك
skills.
العافية.
هلا كيف اقدر بس احسم هاي الشغلات اللي بخربشها؟
في فوق عندك لما أقول لك أعطيني أعمل ستوب شير، خليني أعمل شير من عندي وأنا أحسمها.
شو اسوي؟
شو؟
قصدي شو كنت لي اسوي؟
اعمل ستوب شير وأعطيني أسوي وأنا بعمل حسمها. بس لحظة. ممكن تأتيني الماوس وأعطيك الخبز. لحظة. الهوست بتروح عند الإنسان بالبرد السباق صحيح مصاري. هسه بتقدر تعمل وتشنك.
تمام شكرا جزيلا. Okay, so the topic for today is gonna be implements for developing your lingual and bilingual and personal skills. So as you all know, as you all see, my English is a very good language. Oh my God, this is again. كيف بقدر أكيمو؟
عندك لما بدك تعمل شير في زي فوق 3 نقاط أو إشي زي هيك أو
ضغطت.
لحظة أشرح لك بالضبط. في بعديها إن شايف عندي أنت مرقي عندك الإشي ولا مش شايف؟ عند مور غاد بتقدر تلعب في الأشياء بتلاقي غاد إنه هو ممنوع يعملوا هاي بتعمل حسمة. أنا عملت لهم بس مش عارف ليش مش راضي الإشي. جرب عند مور بعد ما تعمل شير اعمل شير عند مور اعمل شير بالأول.
أي واحدة بتيجي هي؟
مش هي ثالثة هي الرابعة إشي زي هيك.
طيب, okay, let's go. Thank you so much for that. So today's lesson is going to be about implements for developing your lingual and personal skills. So as you all see, my English is very good language. Not only the English, I also speak 3 other languages, which are Arabic, Hebrew, English, and German. Currently, I'm learning Russian and Chinese. And I have like so many good steps for you for developing specifically your English and generally any language that you're interested to speak and to learn. Other than that, I'm gonna give you tips to become a successful person and how to develop your personality. Okay, let's go. So let's go. Let's talk about languages. What are languages? Languages are the medium that connect people. It is the medium that people speak with each other and communicate. And there are so many diverse languages in the world, and each language has its own nature. It has developed in its own way. And for us, some languages are mandatory and we must speak them every day, but others are just optional and we're exempted from speaking them. طبعا شان exempted يعني ما في إنه إحنا مش ضروري نحكيها. Okay, let's go. So why do we even need the languages? Um, so languages are divided into 2 different categories. The first one is the mandatory, as I said before, which you have to speak in your either university, in your work, in your place of living, and also the English language being the international language in the world, and everybody have to speak it. And there are the optional language, which you don't have to speak. They can be learned either through watching series in order to like watch a series that are so interesting to you, or because, for example, you're just interested in Italian food or Italian history and or Italian cities, so you become interested in learning Italian language in order to study all of that. Sometimes people have roots, like have grandparents from another country, let's say Germany or French. That's why it becomes so interesting to you to study your roots and to study the language you come from. And finally, which is reading poem. Some cultures have very, very interesting poems, and some people choose to study the language in order to analyze the poem. So why is it good to study so many languages? Um, so in my first lecture, some people said you can communicate with people easily. The more languages you speak, the easier it becomes for you to talk with another people. The second reason is because it opens so many different ways to you, and it opens for you a new culture. When you're learning a language, you're also learning the culture. I really know when you were in third grade and you started studying English, everything you imagined was just the USA and the United Kingdom, and of course the Big Ben, the like all the British culture. The same thing when you study another language like German or Russian. Another thing is that you will get priority at work because there are some places that have customers that have international customers that speak, for example, Chinese, Japanese, Italian, Spanish, and the more you speak languages, the higher the chance becomes to be hired at work or at service to serve customers. So that is until now. Do you have any questions? إذا أي حدا عنده أسئلة بيقدر يتقدم. Okay, seeing none, we'll continue. So what do you think the best method to learn a language? We have Tiba and we have Sham. If you want, you can unmute yourself and talk. Okay, then I will speak about me. The best method for me to learn a new language is to learn its basis and to learn its grammar. In that way, the language will become much easier. If you just study the template and the basis of the language, then there is a very, very high chance that you can read anything and you can understand easier. And your development will become much easier by time, just if you study the basis. But actually, this is just my opinion. Now, the best method to learn a language is up to you. If you're so interested in, for example, in the grammar like me, then the grammar is the best way to learn a language. If you're interested in communicating with people, then that might be better for you. So it is up to the person. So as we all know, there are the typical methods and the boring methods to study a language, which is watching a series, listening to music, or watching YouTube videos of the language. That really helps. But I do have another special methods for you to study that I used in my life to learn either English or the all of the other languages that I speak. And those are the methods. So the first one, which is traveling to society that speaks those languages, or speaking to native speakers with those languages. So I went to a summer school and it was in London and we used to speak only English. That's why my English have developed a lot. The second method for that is reading novels. If you read a really big novel that consists of 500 pages, then you can imagine the difference between the first page and when you are in the first page and you're in the last page. When you read the whole book, you will notice you have learned so many words, the language is becoming more familiar with you and everything. The third method is to have a very good teacher. So I believe that teachers are the main inspirational source for the student, and therefore they can always encourage him and give him inspiration to continue. The fourth method is to prepare lectures or conferences in the language that you're speaking. In that way, when you are teaching people the language, when you are preparing a lecture and explaining things in this language, it will become much easier for you. Because when you teach somebody the language, you will become more familiar with it. So I have a question for you. You might have an answer for it, you might not. Why is English the international language for the world? Why does everybody have to speak it? So I have the answers for you in here. Because simply the USA and Britain have dominated more than half of the world, and they have spread the English language in all the regions of the world. The second reason, because the English language was chosen because it was so flexible and easy with a basic and simple grammar. And its grammar is so basic and simple, is not complicated, and everything is, all the grammar is easy. And yes, because Britain and USA dominated everywhere, and they used to trade with them, speaking the English languages. They made conferences in the English language, and etc. And now I'm gonna speak about developing your personal skills. One of the methods is, as we learned today, which is learning a new language. That might develop your personality a lot. It might open in new ways for you and a new culture. The second method is to do sports. As you all know, doing sports helps your body a lot to be formed well. And also learning a musical instrument might help you a lot with, you know, with your brain, with your studies, and with everything. Also, traveling in the natures and inside cities will help you a lot. And another one is volunteering. Volunteering is actually helping another people or helping your society to grow. So in that way, you're developing your society, you're developing your skills, and yes. The final one is to get inspiration as much as you can and stay away from envy. We all know some societies are so not acceptable. They don't accept other people, but you don't have to listen to others. Just continue on your way, continue on dreaming, and try always to get positive energy. So I think that was everything for today. I hope it was really beneficial. If you have any question for me, always you can always freely ask. So is there any questions? Okay, so seeing no questions, then we can say that I've just finished my presentation. And thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I really appreciate it.